Hi guys, it's Ashley. Today I'm here to do my February wrap-up. I read 6.5 books this month. There's some novellas and some audiobooks and a graphic novel in there, which accounts for my reading twice as many books as I did in January. Let's get started. The first book I read was A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. I started this in January and I finished it in February. I absolutely adored it, and I'd love to read the next two books so that I could start watching the TV show. Season 4 is now, they're on now, the TV show, I think, as it plays, but we'll see because they're quite hefty. Next is Sacre Bleu, A Comedy d'Art by Christopher Moore. There are several blurbs on the back of this book which describe it as being hilarious. I'm not sure that they received the same copy of this book I did because I did not find anything about this funny in the least. Weird. It was weird. I will give it that much. It's got a really pretty cover with some deckled edges, which were nice, but it's essentially a mystery that follows a bunch of artists trying to uncover whether or not Vincent van Gogh actually killed himself or if there was something more behind it. Fans of magical realism would probably enjoy this book. I really don't care for magical realism, and I think that accounted for the bulk of why I didn't enjoy it. It was just too weird in all the wrong ways for me. I give it 2 stars out of 5. Next up is The Life and Times of Thunderbolt Kid, a memoir by Bill Bryson. I love this one. I think I gave it 4 or 5 stars. I can't remember. I also want to read more memoirs this year, and I saw this one for I think $5, so I thought I'd pick it up and give it a go. I also wanted to give Bill Bryson a try, and I am so glad I did. This is just such a sweet, nostalgic memoir. It's a really good, feel-good book. If you're looking for something that's not too heavy and is just going to make you feel good, I recommend this book. It is a memoir covering Bill Bryson's childhood growing up in Iowa throughout the 50s and the early 60s, and it's just such a charming, sweet, innocent look at that era through the eyes of a kid, and I really enjoyed it. I also read 2 audiobooks, which I'll tell you about before I go on. And the first was The Defenders by Philip K. Dick. I want to read more fantasy and sci-fi, as I mentioned in my last video this year, and Philip K. Dick is kind of a big name in the sci-fi genre, and I came across an audiobook of his on LibriVox, and I thought I'd give it a try. Essentially, in the novel, there's been all these horrible wars happening, and humans have had to move underground. And we've created these robots that we've sent up to the surface to kind of, like, fight our wars for us. And, it seems like things on the surface, like, we're not getting the whole view of it, the reports from these robots, so the, characters in the novel go up to the main ground and they find out what's happening. It was predictable, but it had a good message to it. I think I gave it 3 stars out of 5 stars. And the other audiobook I listened to was A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf, which I really, really thoroughly enjoyed. I think I gave it 5 stars. Let me start checking what my star ratings are before I start these videos. I think I actually have Goodreads open on my computer. Yes, I gave it 5 stars. This is described as being one of the most important feminist novels, and I wholeheartedly agree with it. It was amazing. It was based on a couple of essays that Virginia Woolf did that she linked together and formed like a narrative throughout them. They explore both women writers and women in literature, and I highly recommend it if feminism or writing in any capacity appeals to you. And, I also listened to another audiobook. It was an essay. It's entitled Walking by Henry David Thoreau, and it's just essentially a short essay on why Thoreau believes that walking is an important thing and why he enjoys it, and it's good for you. I didn't like it as much as the other 2 audiobooks. I think I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. That was it for audiobooks this month. On to my graphic novel I read this month. I got a $50 gift card to Indigo, and I had been wanting to buy this graphic novel forever, but graphic novels are kind of pricey, and so I was kind of leery to put out the money for it, but it is The Last Unicorn by Peter S. Spiegel. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I absolutely adore the novel The Last Unicorn and the movie. The movie was my favorite movie growing up, or one of them. And I was so excited to have this because it is absolutely gorgeous. Just the drawings in it are very, very true to the movie. They're done in the same kind of manga style. They're just trying to find one that's colorful and will show good on camera. There's not much text to it. It took me... There's another nice one of the unicorn. It only took me a couple hours to read it, but I highly enjoyed it. I'm glad that I did buy it, because I feel like if I had borrowed it from the library, I probably would have just wanted to have gone back and bought it anyways. Also, that was the first graphic novel I've ever read, and I really enjoyed it. And I actually bought The Watchmen right after that, which I'm probably going to start tonight. And I think I'm going to start trying to borrow graphic novels from the library more often, because they are kind of pricey. But I thoroughly enjoyed them, and I definitely want to read more. The final book I read was The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. I also bought this month. In my book haul last month, I showed you this edition of Wuthering Heights, and I went back and bought the same edition for The Old Man and the Sea. I've only ever read a couple of short stories by Ernest Hemingway and one novel, The Sun Also Rises, or Fiesta, and I really enjoyed them. Strangely enough, this is the one that I have on BookTube. I have never heard anybody say anything good about it, but it's the one that he won a Nobel Prize for Literature for. So I thought I'd give it a go. I really enjoyed it. It's definitely slow and dry, and it's a character study. If that's not your thing, I could totally see why you wouldn't enjoy it. It's essentially about just an old man and his difficulties with being a fisherman as he ages, and it kind of shadows him throughout, I think, 4 or 5 days of his life. But I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 to 5 stars on Goodreads. And that's it. That's all that I read in February. Thanks for watching. Bye.